when this happens, moving to Portugal will turn into a catastrophe and a disaster. Bom dia, gente. This is Frederick from Pearls of Portugal. Portugal is a great destination. We made a lot of videos already about Portugal. There are a lot of benefits in Portugal, but it's not everybody's perfect destination. Maybe there's a significant amount of Portugal projects that fail. And out of my own experience, not my own experience, but the experience from clients, here are 7 reasons why the project, the Dream Portugal, will fail or could fail. If you already moved to Portugal, so if you're an expat from Germany, from the United States, from France, please share your opinion about Portugal in the comments. In the following reasons you agree, please also share your opinions. If you're Portuguese, of course, definitely share your opinion about Portugal and maybe the reasons that you find. We're happy to hear them and discuss them in the comments. So reason number 1 why the step to Portugal, the project Portugal can fail is Hollywood expectations. There are a lot of great movies, Eat, Pray, Love, or a recent one on Netflix, Dolce Vita, which obviously doesn't take place in Portugal, but still it's the same expectation. You come to Portugal, you buy an old house, and the house has a lot of history. It's in a small town. You make a lot of friends. You learn the language within 3 months. Portugal has great places, and I think especially the Portuguese culture, which is not very polarized and people don't really care about you. It's not perfect, but compared to other countries, I think it's really a place where you can be yourself, and you will also maybe fall in love, and maybe you will also make friends and so on, but this takes much more time. It's more realistic, and sometimes I really see that people, especially after Christmas, I don't know why, people come a lot. And if you start your journey to Portugal, which is a great country, but still with this dream world, you will definitely have a rude awakening quite fast. So that's also why a lot of projects really die in the beginning. Not a lot, but this can be a huge factor because people don't really know what to expect. They haven't been in Portugal. So in order to avoid this Hollywood expectation failure syndrome, go to Portugal, be in Portugal. If you have the chance maybe to also stay there for a couple of weeks, even a couple of months, see if you like it, and if you still like it, then make the final step. Maybe start renting first before buying and so on. So don't do the Hollywood expectation mistake. The next mistake has also to do a little bit with maybe not doing a scouting trip, and I would call it the mistake is a wrong location. It's definitely true for a lot of islands. You have 9 islands on the Azores, Madeira. There are 2 main islands which are great, but living on a small island, although it's great nature and so on, it's a challenge because you really need to have an idea what you do with your time. There's not a lot of entertainment from the outside at a certain point, and especially after 6 months, you will have seen it all in the island. And I see this very often. If people just buy it based on a dream, not just Hollywood, but they chose it based on a Hollywood desire, they didn't really check out if the location is perfect for them. It also holds true in continental Portugal. A lot of people go to the Algarve. The Algarve is great. It's one of the prime destinations, but you have to see at the Algarve how it is in the winter. I mean, spring has nothing to do with how it is in summer. Then you have a lot of people coming over, passing vacation, and a small fisher town can turn into the banana riding water sports republic prime destination, and people will think, oh my god, what happened? This was so quiet. There are also Alentejo. Alentejo is beautiful, but can be quite hot. So you purchase maybe a property in spring, and then you experience 3 months where you have temperatures in the 40s centigrade, which is quite hot. So between 11 o'clock and 5 o'clock, you don't dare to go outside because it's so hot. Sometimes people are not aware of this and so on. So check out the location first. If you think, okay, I have a fit with Portugal culture, I would like to live there. Yes, there's Lisbon, but maybe also check out Porto. There are also other cities like Coimbra, Braga. There are a lot of mid-tier cities. So I think it's a crucial step. And we get this question very often. Hey, I'm coming over. Can I already see some properties? We think, hey, you don't even know where you would like to stay or what kind of town fits you. So always check out the destination first. See if it fits your requirements. If you would like to work, if you have hobbies, make a full check. It's not for the holiday, it's on a permanent basis, and choose your destination well, especially the islands when you move to Portugal. Otherwise you risk that at least on short term the project will fail and either you go back or you have to find a different place in Portugal. Reason number 3 why projects fail, and this has nothing to do with Portugal itself. A lot of people have problems. They suffer from depressions, or they don't like what's happening in their home country. They recently divorced and they would like to get away. And the thing is, you have to choose actively Portugal for what it is, or there must be a desire to come to Portugal because you like the culture, the food, you like the people, the language, and so on. If you try to leave something in your home country, if there's a problem, you will definitely take it with you also to Portugal. Think why you go to Portugal first. There must be something about Portugal that attracts you, that really says, okay, this is my place, my new home where I would like to grow roots and maybe get old and so on. If you're just running away for something, I'm pretty sure this will hunt you down also in Portugal and will make you unhappy in Portugal. So that's the third reason. You import your personal problems that you went away from. Portugal will not be able to solve this. So check the reasons in the beginning why you would like to move to Portugal on a personal level. Reason number 4, which is quite a standard, it's money. You also need to have the financial means to finance your life in Portugal. When I do the first talks with people that are interested in moving to Portugal, I will always ask them, okay, but how is it that you would like to finance your life? And sometimes it's quite interesting what kind of ideas pop up. First of all, people are not aware. Portugal is a very interesting country. Has a lot of integrity, but in terms of salaries, it's quite, I wouldn't say poor. There are much poorer countries worldwide, but the average income is 1,580 euros gross, so that's not really a lot. And you should know, if you would like to get a work in Portugal, can you finance yourself? My personal advice is always to be able to finance an entire year, especially when you come with family. You will have a lot of things. You need to take them to school, maybe have some extra costs and so on. Life costs of living in Portugal are on an international level, it's quite cheap. So you also get along with 1,500, maybe 2,000 euros liquid on a monthly basis, depends, but still you need to have the money. Maybe there's an extra cost. You would like to buy a car, or you purchase a house and now you would like to change something. So be able to finance yourself, make yourself aware how you can finance, how you would like to work, if you have to work, if you open a business or if you bring your own business, do you have all the certificates? Make a very sound business plan to come to Portugal. The requirements, as I said, are not so high because it's not a very expensive country, but still you need the money. And this is one of the reasons sometimes people just come, they plan, they have some ideas. Yeah, I will do this and this and maybe see, and then I will apply when I'm there. Don't do it. Calculate things. It's a very unromantic step, but still, again, my advice is have the money for 1 year and make yourself or have an idea how you would like to earn money, and you will have a fine time in Portugal. Otherwise, the Portuguese dream can end up quite fast. Reason number 5, culture fit. The Portuguese people are modest people. They're not very loud. They don't brag about their culture. They are not really outgoing when it comes to comparing them maybe on an international level. Of course, they're proud. They have a lot of food pride and so on. So don't insult their cuisine. Doesn't happen very often that people don't have a culture fit. If you come to Portugal and say, well, this is how we do it in my home country, this is how we do it in the States or in Germany, and now I will teach you because you are relatively poor compared to my country. Well, that doesn't really count. You will not be successful in Portugal if we don't understand how the Portugal society works, how the culture is, what are the norms, how you should behave in Portugal. You will not change the people. So, which was also hard learning for myself, being from Germany. Then I sometimes thought, okay, let's do it this and this, because I was used to do it like that in Germany, and I also got my professional bruises or culture bruises out of this processes. So if you come to Portugal and if you would like to have a successful or pleasant life, start to speak the language at least a little bit. Try to understand the people. Don't just hang out in expat communities, not knowing anything about the Portuguese community. There are a lot of expats, and I think it's also attractive to be with them, and there's also good mixture. But if you don't have a culture fit or a culture understanding, you will definitely have a hard time to settle down, also to feel home, and you will encounter a lot of problems and frustrations when not being able to understand the Portuguese culture. So reason number 6, bureaucracy will always make your life not so easy. Let's take it like this. It's also the job to regulate things. In Portugal, I think it's definitely worse. When you want to build a property, for example, only the approval of the property should be done within 6 months, but usually takes longer. So the entire building process can take up to 1.5 years. If you applied for Golden Visa, this Golden Visa applicants were completely mistreated. They had to wait 1-2 years for the first approval. Visa renewals are not coming on time, so sometimes people run around with an invalid residency. I mean, institutions are aware of this, which is not a problem itself, but still, if you want to travel in this kind of things, this gives you a bad feeling, especially when you also invested and did your share of the agreement and the Portuguese government does not do their share. This can definitely create a lot of frustrations. Some things also change. The alojamento local rule went back and forth, and if you made yourself independent in this kind of market, it can also be frustrating. But Portugal will help you to get a full picture, and I think if you are aware of what's coming, and that's also part of a fair, transparent communication by a service provider. But I understand if you come from a more liberal maybe market like United States and even Germany, so you might be frustrated, and bureaucracy is definitely one of the reasons why people are leaving Portugal again, because they don't cope with the frustration that bureaucracy can cause in Portugal. Reason number 7, and that is also an important factor when you come to Portugal. If you don't come by yourself, but with the partner or even with a family, you really have to make sure that everybody in the family, especially in the relationship, is convinced and has a passion and dedication to come to Portugal. If it's just one person that is in love with Portugal, there will be challenges, there will be surprises, there will be points of frustrations, and if the other person who was not so convinced experiences, these frustrations can grow. You will have a asymmetry between two people, and there you go. After a while, there will be frustration within the relationship. Then people maybe even break up. I experienced this. One stood, the other one left. So make sure when you take the step to going to Portugal that everybody in the relationship and also the family is convinced of going to Portugal. So I hope you liked the video about the 7 reasons why the step to Portugal can fail. It is a great country. I love the country, but still there are significant factors that can challenge your project and also maybe lead it to failure. So think about it. If you have any questions, please contact us. If you have other experiences or if you would like to add a factor, please leave them in the comments. If you like the video, please follow us. Leave us a thumb up and don't forget, stop surviving, start living. See you in Portugal.